Hello students, in the previous video we have come to know about Bepin's confirmation regarding his stay at Ranchi from his school friend Chunni Lal and his visit to Dr. Chanda for the treatment of his loss of memory. Today we will discuss the last and fourth part of Bipin Babu's lapse of memory and will learn about Chunni Lal's trick. Bipin Choudhury's Lapse of Memory, Part 4. Getting off the train at Ranchi next morning, he realized at once that he had never been there before. He came out of the station, took a taxi, and drove around the town for a while. He realized that the streets, the buildings, the hotels, the bazaars, the Morabadi Hill, with none of these had he the slightest acquaintance. Would a trip to the Choudhury Falls help? He didn't believe so, but at the same time, he didn't wish to leave with the feelings that he hadn't tried enough. So he arranged for a car and left for Choudhury in the afternoon. At 5 o'clock the same afternoon in Choudhury, two Gujarati gentlemen from a group of picnickers discovered Bipin Babu lying unconscious beside a boulder. When he came round, the first thing Bipin Babu said was, "I am finished. There's no hope left." Next morning, Bipin Babu was back in Calcutta. He realized that there was truly no hope for him. Soon he would lose everything: his will to work, his confidence, his ability, his balance of mind. Was he going to end up in the asylum at? Bipin Babu couldn't think any more. Bipin Babu, as he got off the train the next morning, he realized he had never been to Ranchi. He took a taxi as he came out of the railway station and took a round of the city, but he couldn't recall anything. He then decided to visit the Choudhury Falls, as he didn't want to leave the place with the feelings that he hadn't tried enough. In the afternoon, he visited the Choudhury Falls, but he couldn't recall anything. So he collapsed due to the loss of all hopes. Two Gujarati gentlemen found him lying unconscious. They helped him to regain his consciousness. He came back to Calcutta the next morning. He felt gradually he would lose everything and would end up in the asylum. Back home, he rang up Dr. Chanda and asked him to come over. Then, after a shower, he got into bed with an ice bag clamped on his head. Just then, the servant brought him a letter which someone had left in the letter box. A greenish envelope with his name in red ink on it. Above the name it said, "Urgent and confidential." In spite of his condition, Bipin Babu had a feeling that he ought to go through the letter. He tore open the envelope and took out the letter. This is what he read. Dear Bipin, I had no idea that affluence would bring about the kind of change in you that it has done. Was it so difficult for you to help out an old friend down on his luck? I have no money, so my resources are limited. What I have is imagination, a part of which I used in retribution of your unfeeling behavior. Well, you will be all right again now. A novel I've written is being considered by a publisher. If he likes it enough, it will see me through the next few months. Yours, Chunni Lal. When Dr. Chanda came, Bipin Babu said, "I am fine." It all came back as soon as I got off the train at Ranchi. "A unique case," said Dr. Chanda. "I shall certainly write about it in a medical journal." The reason why I sent for you, said Bipin Babu, is that I have a pain in the hip from a fall I had in Ranchi. If you could prescribe a painkiller. Bipin Babu rang up Dr. Chanda and asked him to visit him. He took a shower and got in bed with an ice bag. Just then, his servant brought him a letter which he had found in the letter box. On the envelope, it was written urgent and confidential. In spite of his condition, he decided to read the letter. In the letter, Chunnilal revealed the secret that he had played a trick to take revenge as Bipin Babu forgot their old friendship and not helped him in his need. He further added he had written a novel and his work was under the consideration of a publisher. If the publisher liked his work, he would have enough money for the next few months. When Dr. Chanda came to see him, to avoid the embarrassment, Bipin Babu informed him that he could recollect everything as he got off the train at Ranchi. Bipin Babu told the doctor that he called him to prescribe him a painkiller as he had a fall in Ranchi. Dear students, I hope so. You all understood the story very well. Thank you. God bless you.